Today is 10th of November 2012. This evening, the topic of the Dharma discussion is about 5 faculties, 5 powers. It is important that meditators must be endowed with 5 mental faculties in order to make progress. These faculties must be strong, sharp, and kept in balance. As you know, these 5 faculties are saddha, or faith or confidence, virya, effort, then sati, mindfulness. Then the 4th faculty is samadhi, concentration, and the 5th faculty is panya, wisdoms. Each faculty has its own functions. The faculty of faith or confidence performs the functions of resolutions or resolving. Then the faculty of effort perform the functions of exertions, or in other words, one would put forth strenuous effort when one has this faculty. Then the faculty of mindfulness perform the functions of awareness. Then the faculty of concentration perform the functions of non-distractions. Then the faculty of wisdoms perform its functions of discernment, or in other words, to see or to discern, to understand things as they really are. In the 5 powers, the 5 powers also consist of these same 5 factors. So, in other words, there are this power of faith or confidence, or power of effort, power of mindfulness, power of concentration, and power of wisdoms. If meditators are endowed with these 5 powers, then they would not be shaken by the opposites. The meditators would become firm, fearless, fearless in overcoming or facing the opposites. So, faculty of faith perform the functions of resolutions or resolving. So the opposites of resolutions is indecisions or indecisive. When one has faith or confidence in the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, or the teaching of karma, and the practice that could lead one to enlightenment, if one has faith or confidence, then one would become very resolute. In other words, one has firm, strong resolutions. So, in the Abhidhamma mentions that saddha, or faith or confidence, is manifested as resolutions or resolving or to achieve something. In the commentaries, say that sada like your hands, a pair of hands. If one does not have a pair of hands, so when one enters, for example, a treasure house, it's because one does not have a pair of hands, then he could not take any treasures such as diamonds, he or she likes. But if one has a pair of hands, then one will be able to take whatever treasures such as diamonds and gold, silvers, whatever one likes. Similarly, if one does not have faith or confidence in the Buddha, the Dharma and the Sangha, then one could not take hold of any profitable Dharma or any good Dharma, beneficial Dharma. So if one has sada, faith, confidence, then one will gain happiness, such as mundane happiness and supra-mundane happiness. So due to the faith or confidence, one would perform various kinds of good deeds, such as dana, the practice of generosity, observance of sila, morality, giving service to the Buddha Sasana, or such as organizing vipassana meditation retreats, and so on. Then eventually one would also make an aspirations or resolutions to realize the supramundane path and fructions. But if one does not have faith or confidence, then one becomes indecisive, or doubt may arise, or doubt that whether there's any benefits doing such wholesome deeds, and so on. So indecisions or indecisiveness could be arising. But if one has the power of faith or confidence, one would not be shaken by this indecision or indecisiveness. So if one has a firm faith or confidence, then it would lead to exertions, or one will be able to endure exertions in the practice of Dharma. One would put forth effort or strenuous effort in doing good deeds, such as doing dana, observance of morality, and when one meditates, one would put forth strenuous effort to develop or cultivate the mind. So if one could put forth strenuous effort in the practice, for example, in mindfulness meditation, vipassana meditation, then the opposites could not arise. In words, laziness cannot arise. So when one has effort to develop mindfulness from one moment to next moment, by being mindful of one object, from one object to next object, then it's not possible for any mental hindrances to arise, or mental hindrances such as laziness or sluggishness or sloth and torpor to arise. So when one is endowed with this power effort, then one could not be shaken by the opposite, or there's laziness or sleepiness or sloth and torpor. Then when there's effort, then one will be able to be aware of whatever mental process or physical process there's arising at that moment. If the faculty of mindfulness is weak, then one could not be aware of the mental process or physical process precisely or attentively. One may even become negligent in the practice. In other words, one allows the mind to be wandering all the time, or dwells on the thoughts of sense desires. Or when one becomes negligent, then one would enjoy whatever sense object that come into contact with the sense doors. Or in other words, the mind always goes up to various kinds of sense object, or instead of being mindful of whatever mental process or physical process that's arising at that present moment. But if one is endowed with the power of mindfulness, then one could overcome this enemy to the mindfulness. There's negligence. When mindfulness becomes more and more attentive and energetic and precise, then the mind is not easily distracted. So in other words, this faculty of concentration, samadhi, perform its functions of non-distractions. So the mind could stay with the objects well from the beginning of the process until the middle, until the end of the process. Restless or agitation cannot arise if one is endowed with the power of concentration. So when concentration becomes stronger and stronger, then wisdom arises. So when there's deep concentration, wisdom arises and lead one to realize the mental processes and physical processes in their true nature. So the faculty of wisdom perform its function of discernment. In other words, it enables meditators to rightly understand the true nature of the mental and physical phenomena. In other words, to realize the specific and common characteristics of the phenomena. At that moment, the illusions will be replaced or removed by the wisdoms. So this discernment of wisdoms is overcomes delusion or moha. When one is endowed with the power of wisdoms, then one would not be shaken by this deluded mind or delusions. So that's why in the text it says that there's no difference between the 5 faculties and the 5 powers. For example, the faculties of faith or confidence performs the functions of resolutions. The power of faith or confidence is when one has this power, one would not be shaken by the opposites of resolutions. The opposite of resolution is indecisions or indecisive. So similarly, when one has the power of effort, then one is not shaken or overpowered by laziness. When one is endowed with the power of mindfulness, one will not be shaken or overpowered by negligence. One could be develop awareness all the time. So when one is endowed with the faculty of concentration, samadhi, then the mind is not easily distracted. Then the power of concentration could prevent the mind from the distractions. Then if one is endowed with the faculty of wisdoms, then it would lead one to rightly understand all the mental and physical processes in their true nature. If one could not see things as they really are, then it's possible that delusions can be arising. But if one is endowed with the power of wisdom, then one could not be overpowered or shaken by delusions. So to make progress in meditation, it's important that meditators must be endowed with these 5 faculties or these 5 powers. And it is also important to keep these 5 faculties in balance. If these faculties are not kept in balance, then meditators could not attain deep concentration and clear insight knowledge. The faculties of the faith should be kept in balance with the faculties of wisdom, and the faculty of effort should be kept in balance with the faculties of concentration. But the faculty of mindfulness need not be kept in balance with other faculties. It is needed all the time. This faculty of mindfulness can help to keep the other faculties in balance. So it is not possible to say that meditators may have excessive mindfulness, but most of the time could be meditators do not have enough mindfulness or lack of mindfulness. So one meditators have to put forth effort to develop mindfulness all the time, at any place, at any time, especially during intensive retreats. Then this faculty of faith should be kept in balance with faculty of wisdom. if wisdom is strong, but the faith is very weak, then one may not be able to make progress. When the wisdom is very strong and the faculty of faith is very weak, then sometimes one may have difficulties to overcome it. In the Visuddhimagga mentioned that when the wisdom is very strong and the faith is very weak, then it's like a patient who is sick because of taking wrong medicine. So when a person falls sick or falls sick because of wrong medicine, taking wrong medicine, they say that it's difficult to be cured. Similarly, when one has a lot of wisdoms, then it may become a hindrance. If this wisdom is not kept in balance with the faith or confidence, then it can become a hindrance. So here, wisdoms like what we say, intellectual cleverness. So if one has a lot of intellectual knowledge, one may think one is very clever, then one may have a tendency to practice, to practice or to meditate according to one's cleverness. So instead of following the instructions, sometimes one may have the tendency to apply one's cleverness in the practice, using one's own way. In that way, one may not make progress, or one may not be able to follow the path of the practice. And then during the practice, they may have the tendency to analyze the experience, or to compare the experience with their theoretical knowledge and so on. So in that way, there be a lot of thinking, analyzing. So that's why the Visuddhimagga say that it's as difficult as curing a patient who falls sick because of taking wrong medicine. So meditation is not based on one's own idea or personal idea. So if one could keep balance this wisdom with faith, then one would overcome thinking, analyzing. For example, one would contemplate that the Buddha, all his great disciples have been practicing these four foundations of mindfulness, and through this practice they have uprooted all mental defilements and attained enlightenment. So in that way, one would follow the instructions and the scriptures. One would not practice based on one's own idea or personal idea. Then, if the faculty of faith or confidence is strong, wisdom is weak, then one becomes credulous, easily believe in any doctrines or the way of or the practice. In other words, when the faith is very strong, wisdom is weak. One is not critical. One is not critical. One is easily believe or accept any doctrines or any practice that could lead one to the wrong path. So this faith should be kept in balance with wisdoms. Then the next two faculties, or the faculties of effort, should be kept with in balance with the faculties of concentration or samadhi. So if effort is very strong, or it could lead to restless agitation. If the effort is very weak, it leads to mental sluggishness or sleepiness, sloth and torpor. During the Buddha's time, there was a monk by the name of Venerable Sona. Venerable Sona was a musician before he renounced. So since his renunciation, he was practicing or meditating very diligently. According to the commentaries, he was practicing or meditating so diligently. For example, doing a lot of walking meditations until he felt so tired. He started to crawl on the floor. So he was practicing so diligently, so hard until the skins of the foot or the skins of the hand blistering. It means blood coming out. But even he practiced so hard, so diligently, he could not realize his spiritual goal. He thought of giving up, or in other words, to raise up both hands. So do you raise up your hand? Now it's only the fourth day of practice. Have you raised up your both hands?
อย่างนั้นมั้ง
The meaning of raising both up your hands up means give up. So the Buddha came to know about it and came to see him. Then asked him before his renunciation, he was a musician. How did he tune his instruments? He plays one type of musical instruments known as the lute. So the Buddha said, if you tune the strings of that musical instruments very tight, are you able to play a beautiful music? If you tuned or the musical instruments, if the string is too loose or lax, could you play a beautiful music? So he answered that if the strings of that musical instruments is too tight or too loose, then he could not play a beautiful music. So the Buddha said, similarly, if effort or energy is applied too forcefully, then it will lead to restlessness or agitation. And if effort or energy is too lax or too little, then it will lead to sluggishness or idleness. But when when the effort is not too much or forcefully apply or too little, too lax, then one would able to when one would apply the right amount of effort, then one would realize insight knowledge, or that penetrates into the true nature of phenomena. So this effort should be kept with concentration. If concentration is strong but effort is not weak, then it is also will lead to sleepiness, drowsiness, or idleness. Sometimes during meditations, the objects, for example, the movements of the abdomen is very clear. When the movements of the abdomen is very clear, meditators find it's very easy to be mindful of these clear movements. So when the movements is very clear, meditators find it's very easy to be mindful. So gradually they forget to keep up the effort. So when effort is enough, gradually the mind becomes sluggish. Sometimes during meditations, the mind becomes inactive or staying in idleness. So some meditators think or take it as concentration. So when the mind stays in idleness or inactive, then that is not conducive to the progress of mindfulness, meditation, as well as insight knowledge. So meditators should put effort so that the mind is active, alert, and is able to mindful from one moment to next moment, from one object to next object. During the practice, this faculty of effort should be kept in balance with the faculty of concentration. So to be able to keep these faculties in balance, mindfulness is important. When you have mindfulness, then it could prevent any of these faculties becomes excessive, and at the same time keep all these faculties in balance. Then each faculty is able to perform its functions. If one of the faculties is excessive, then the other faculties may not be able to perform their functions. At the beginning, the meditators may not be able to keep the faculties in balance.
ในตอนต้นๆของการปฏิบัตินั้นโยคีอาจจะไม่สามารถที่จะรักษาอินทรีย์ทั้งหลายให้สมดุลกันได้
But with the guidance from the teachers and learning from their experience, gradually they will be able to keep the faculties in balance. To keep the faculties, these five mental faculties also must be strong and sharp. And one of the factors to sharpen these five mental faculties is that the mindfulness of the mental and physical processes must not be interrupted, must be constant, continuous, and sustained. Meditators must also practice mindfulness meditation more seriously with respect. So at the beginning, the faculties are not sharp, strong. So to make it sharp and strong, you have to put forth effort so that the mindfulness becomes constant, continuous, and sustained. I wish that all meditators are endowed with strong and sharp mental faculties by constant, continuous, and sustained mindfulness, so that eventually you attain deep concentration, clear insight knowledge, and finally realizing the Four Noble Truths through your personal experience, direct experience.